Remember this Overtake auction? Well, the car has now been sold at 262,000. There's definitely a lot of demand for the Cybertruck. There's no denying that. We got some more FSD data. Today, 5 destinations, about 32 kilometers, no takeovers. Coverage was basically 99%. Cumulatively, over 7 days, a total of 378 kilometers driven to 37 destinations with a coverage of 99.8% on FSD is what I assume that means, and a total of 4 takeovers, an average of 1.05 takeovers per 100 kilometers. I assume he is in Canada, that's why it's kilometers, but it's 62 miles, so that's pretty good. Remember I said that sometimes on FSD, I don't feel fully comfortable because it gets a bit close to the curbs? Well, it turns out my fear is justified. This is what happened on FSD. Hopefully this is improved on V12.4. To me, this doesn't happen occasionally. To me, that discomfort rarely occurs, but maybe if I do a 1-hour drive in the city, I'll feel that it's a bit too close to the curb for maybe 2 to 3 minutes out of the 1 hour. But in my case, it never actually hit the curb. Norway currently is going through something that every single country on this planet is going to go through. New figures suggest that the number of battery EVs on Norway's roads are soon set to overtake petrol cars in just a matter of time. Cruise is coming back. It just relaunched in Phoenix with manual driving operations. Ford just released a new Mustang Mach-E. The longest range trim now gets 320 miles, while the fastest Mach-E will now go from 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds instead of 3.8 seconds. That's 0.2 seconds faster than the Model Y performance. The battery can now charge from 10 to 80% in 36 minutes instead of 45. I tried the Ford Mach-E before. I don't know, the moment I got into it, because I arrived in a Tesla, it just felt a bit outdated. It's not a bad car. It's decent. I mean, if you come from a gasoline-powered Ford and you come into the Ford Mach-E, you will think it's great. But you come from a Tesla and it's a downgrade. And very few people buy the performance version even when they buy a Tesla, so the Ford Mach-E being a little bit faster, I don't think that matters much. And we know that Tesla is going to release a new Model Y, and the performance version of that new refresh Model Y, I expect that one to be faster. And here's a breakdown of each trim. These two got their ranges increased by 20 miles and this one by 10 miles. Well, Ross Gerber is doing something that many would not exactly expect Ross to do anymore, because he's been bashing Tesla and Elon Musk, but here he is actually promoting Tesla. He's telling people to buy Teslas. Did we just get proof that Tesla is indeed about to enter the market in India? Tesla registered office in Pune just got furnished recently. Tesla has also imported their cars and got them registered in the state of Karnataka. You can see in the picture. I feel Tesla Indian news could be coming soon. Indeed, if this is true, yes. We now know how many vehicles Toyota sold in 2023, and it's 11.2 million. So I expect Tesla one day to sell at least that many, because Tesla has better loyalty, the vehicles are better, safer, more reliable, faster, better value for money, not to mention software and FSD. And Toyota, if Toyota is smart, eventually it will license FSD from Tesla. Many people are convinced they should buy a hybrid first as a gateway to an eventual EV purchase. So Toyota's hybrid strategy will work for a while, but eventually them dragging their feet for years on BEV development will come back to bite them. I agree. People don't need a gateway to EVs. You can easily live with an EV as your daily driver, as long as you can easily charge at home. Oh, but what if I live in an apartment? Well, this is how parking is going to look in the future. Norway has already figured it out. Most of their new car sales are all electric. And check this out. Sales of Volkswagen electric cars fell by 24% in Europe in Q1 and 3% worldwide. They also have the benefit of not having a very high percentage of their total sales being EV, meaning they have this huge customer base that they can market to and easily sell EVs to, and yet they are saying no. We don't want your EV. It's easier to grow EV sales when your sales overall are low, but with Tesla sales, the sales are higher already, so it's harder to grow that high number even higher fast. That's it for Tesla news, but I have a few more things to say. The Tate brothers just held an emergency meeting and I commented on it. I had about 40 minutes or so of commentary here. I also talked about mortgages and a bit about money. So if you're interested in that sort of stuff, but you don't want to watch them, you can just skip to my commentary. And like I mentioned before, I want to cover a few controversial topics, and covering this does put me in a bit of a dangerous spot in terms of my chances of being canceled definitely have gone up. But I have two brothers who are 14 years old. They are twins, and they asked me about Andrew Tate, and I didn't really quite know what to tell them about these guys. So I've been watching them a little bit and I'm forming my opinion. I'm not endorsing them, by the way. I made that very clear, and I disagree with many things that they said, and you can watch my commentary if you would like to. And there are some things where I go, yeah, that I think that makes sense. But I told my younger brothers, if you want to watch these guys, watch my commentary also, so that you don't get confused with when they exaggerate on purpose and when they actually mean what they say. Anyway, I'm going to continue my independent investigation into are Tate brothers innocent or guilty, but the law says innocent until proven guilty, so for now I'm taking that position. There are also many other news stories that I want to cover, and later on I will start covering them, but maybe not yet. But in the future, absolutely. I think our world lacks common sense. And I get really upset when people do something ridiculously crazy and they somehow make it out to be normal. No, I'm getting to a point where I had enough. I'm getting there. There are some things that I know it's better to keep your mouth shut, but I'm getting to a point where I don't think that I can just ignore what's happening around us and then say nothing. So common sense is what I want to fight for. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.